friends. Today we're going to start a painting, and it's called A Place to Remember, the name of the lesson. And what it's going to be is a picture of some place you've been, maybe with your family, maybe with friends, that you'd like to remember. I have a paper that looks like this, and you can look through and see if there's anything that might help you draw the place you would like to remember. Maybe you've been to a lighthouse and you want to do something like that. Maybe you've been swimming or snorkeling and you want to draw an underwater picture or a seascape. Maybe you went to a water park and you want to draw a water slide. Maybe you went sledding one day and you want to draw a winter landscape. These are just ideas. You don't need to copy one of these, but you can if you want. A place I'd like to remember is a place that my family likes to go camping. So I'm going to draw our camper. This is what we camp inside. We stay inside our camper. It has a wheel here, a wheel here, it has a window and a door. So I'm just sketching out my idea to start. Now I'm going to draw where my camper is. In this picture, that's the background, what's behind my foreground. The foreground in my picture is this camper. I'm making the camper big, and the things in the background I'm gonna make small. There's a little tree back here. That tree really isn't a teeny tiny tree. It's a tree that's far away. Maybe I'll make a tree next to the camper that's a lot bigger so you can see the size variation. So big in the front, small in the back. Maybe I'll turn this into a sunset picture. So yours could be a landscape, a picture of land. Mine is a seascape, a picture of water. Or it could be a cityscape. Maybe you went to New York City with your family and you want to remember that. I'm going to make a little stream in the back. And now I have my idea pretty much sketched out and I'm ready for painting. And I have two sets of paint. One has the warm colors, one has the cool colors. And I'm going to start filling in the big areas first. The areas like the grass, the sky, and the mountains. When I'm doing this, I'm remembering that my paintbrush is like a ballerina. Ballerinas always dance on their tiptoes. These are the tiptoes of my paintbrush. They never scoot on the bottoms. The bottom is the metal part of the paintbrush because nobody wants to go to the booty scooting ballet. So I'm kind of outlining an area and moving my brush back and forth. If you choose to do a landscape like I did, you'll probably run into the issue that I'm running into here. I'm painting green grass and then I'm coming to a green tree. When I do that, I'm gonna leave the tree and fill it in with another value of green. And value is how light or dark a color is. If I made it exactly the same as my grass, it wouldn't show up. By switching greens, I make the tree look like it stands out. When I'm painting, I like to flip my brush upside down sometimes and do something called sgraffito. That's where when you have wet paint, you scrape it away with your paintbrush. I'm filling areas. When I get to the sky, I want to show you a technique called blending. Blending is when you use 1, 2, or more colors to blend. If you choose to do color blending, that's fine, but you do need to be aware of how colors mix together. So for example, colors that are neighbors in the rainbow or the color wheel look good together. So when I think about the rainbow, it goes red, orange, yellow. So if I put the orange next to the red, it'll look nice if I blend them together a little bit. And I can kind of fade it from red to orange. After orange comes yellow. So I'll put some yellow and then kind of make an area of overlap and blend my colors. By following rainbow order, I get nice blending. If I were to try to blend red and green, for example, it wouldn't look good. Red and green are not next door neighbors in the rainbow or the color wheel, so it really wouldn't look nice. So I'm gonna keep working like that until my painting is done, and I'll time lapse you and show you techniques that I'm using when they're relevant. Now my painting is full of color, but what I really like to do in a landscape is something called overpainting, where my grass area is full, but I'm gonna give it texture by making little green lines, but in a different value of green. If I did it in the exact same green that I had used before, it wouldn't really look like grass, it would just kind of blend in. I can do maybe in the mountains little dabs to represent little trees. These ones maybe have snow on them. And you'll notice that I use some colors that maybe aren't totally realistic. Mountain that I went camping by didn't really look purple, but I'm the artist and I thought it would look cool if I made it purple, so I just did that. I'm gonna do a little bit of overpainting to make some water lines, so it looks like the river behind me is kind of moving. And I'm gonna work until I'm happy and pleased with my piece of art. This piece of art commemorates a personal experience, something that you have done with your family or friends that you don't want to forget.